Space looks peaceful from Earth. Quiet stars, slow-moving planets, an endless calm darkness. But the farther we look into space, the less calm it becomes. There are planets where glass may rain sideways, worlds traveling through darkness without a sun, and dead stars spinning so quickly that hundreds of rotations happen before a single second has passed. Even the human body begins behaving differently the moment gravity disappears. Today, we are looking at 10 things that actually happen in space that sound completely impossible. And the final one is not just strange, it changes time itself. Number 10. There's a planet where glass may rain sideways. From a distance, HD 189733b looks almost beautiful. It is bright blue, like a giant version of Earth. You might imagine oceans, clouds, maybe even some kind of alien weather, but that blue color is hiding something far more violent. Planet's atmosphere contains tiny silicate particles made from materials similar to glass. Its temperature can rise to around 1000 degrees Celsius, and the winds may reach thousands of kilometers per hour. That means the particles would not fall gently from the sky. They could be blasted sideways through the atmosphere at extreme speeds. Imagine the strongest storm you have ever seen. Now replace the rain with burning glass-like particles and make the wind several times faster than a hurricane. The most disturbing part is how harmless the planet looks from space. It appears blue, calm, and almost familiar. But up close, it may be one of the most violent places ever discovered. And somehow, that planet is still lucky, because at least it has a sun. Number 9. Some planets travel through space completely alone. We grow up thinking planets belong to a solar system. Earth has a sun, Mars has a sun, and most planets we discover orbit a star of their own. But some planets have nothing. No sunrise, no sunset, no warm light reaching their surface. These are known as rogue planets. Scientists believe some of them may have formed normally around a star, but during the violent early stages of a solar system, the gravity of larger planets or nearby stars may have thrown them out. Once that happens, there may be no journey home. The planet can spend billions of years moving through the galaxy in almost complete darkness. Imagine an entire world covered in mountains of ice, oceans, or storms, but no one ever sees it. Without a nearby star lighting it up, a rogue planet is extremely difficult to detect. That means there may be enormous numbers of them hidden between the stars, possibly even more rogue planets than the stars in our galaxy. Entire worlds could be traveling through the darkness right now, invisible, silent, and completely alone. But if that sounds extreme, some stars leave behind objects that are even harder to imagine. Number 8. A dead star can spin hundreds of times every second. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, it can explode into a supernova. For a brief second, that explosion can shine brighter than an entire galaxy. But the objects left behind can be even more extreme. The core of a star may collapse into a neutron star. Picture an object containing more mass than our sun. Now compress all of that mass into something roughly the size of a city. The result is one of the densest objects in the universe. A tiny amount of a neutron star material would weigh an almost impossible amount on Earth. But its density is only the beginning. Some neutron stars rotate hundreds of times every second. These are called pulsars. They release beams of radiation from their magnetic poles. As the star rotates, the beams swipe across space like the light from a lighthouse. Every time one of those beams point towards Earth, our telescopes detect a pulse. And those pulses can be unbelievably precise. Some pulses are so consistent that scientists can treat the remains of a dead star like a cosmic clock. Think about the scale of that. An object heavier than the sun, compressed into the size of a city, spinning so quickly that your eyes could never separate one rotation from the next. Space does not just create large objects. It creates objects that feel like they should not physically be possible. But space does not need a dead star to break the rules. Sometimes all it takes is two ordinary pieces of metal touching. Number 7. Metal can weld itself together without heat. On Earth, welding usually involves extreme temperatures. You melt or soften two pieces of metal and join them together. But in space, certain pieces of metal can fuse just by making contact. This is called cold welding. On Earth, metal surfaces are covered in microscopic layers of oxygen, moisture, dirt, and other contaminants. Even if a piece of metal looks completely clean, those layers help keep its atoms separate from another metal surface. In the vacuum of space, those layers may not be present. If two extremely clean pieces of similar metal touch, the atoms may not recognize a clear boundary between them. To the atoms, it appears to be one continuous piece of metal. So, the metal bonds. No flames, no sparks, no welding machine. They simply touch and become one. This may sound like a small problem, but in a spacecraft, one moving part becoming permanently stuck could threaten an entire mission. Hinges, tools, and mechanical equipment have to be designed carefully to prevent it. Imagine trying to repair a spacecraft only to discover that parts of your equipment have welded itself together. And now imagine dealing with that problem while a bubble of your own tears is stuck across your eyes. Number 6. Your tears do not fall in space. If you cry on Earth, gravity pulls your tears down your face. In orbit, there is no clear down. So, the tears stay around your eyes. Surface tension causes the liquid to cling to the skin as more tears form. Surface tension causes the liquid to cling to your skin. As more tears form, they collect into larger blobs around the eye. They do not simply float away dramatically like they might in a movie. They stick. The water can spread across the eye and create an uncomfortable bubble on the astronaut's face. Eventually, the astronaut has to wipe it away with a towel. The same problem happens with sweat. On Earth, sweat can drip from your body and evaporate. In space, it forms a wet layer across the skin. During exercise, astronauts can quickly become hot, sticky, and uncomfortable. Even washing your face becomes complicated. Water does not pour downward. It clings to surfaces, forms floating blobs, and can drift into sensitive equipment. Space does not only change enormous objects like planets and stars, it changes the basic rules your body has depended on for its entire life. And the changes do not stop at your eyes. They can even affect one of your most familiar senses. Number 5. Space can change the way food tastes. A meal that tastes perfectly normal on Earth may seem bland in orbit. In microgravity, fluids inside an astronaut's body shift upwards towards the head. This can make the face look slightly swollen. It can also make astronauts feel congested, almost like they have a blocked nose. And because smells play a major role in taste, food can suddenly seem much less flavorful. This is why many astronauts prefer strong or spicy foods in space. Hot sauce becomes extremely popular, but even adding seasoning becomes difficult. You cannot shake loose salt and pepper over a meal. The grains would float away. They could enter someone's eye, damage equipment, or get trapped inside air filters. So, salt and pepper are often turned into liquids. Salt can be mixed with water. Pepper can be mixed with oil. Even ordinary bread creates a problem because crumbs can float into the spacecraft. That is why tortillas are often used instead. A sandwich on Earth is lunch. In space, it's an engineering decision. And after months of packaged food, astronauts can begin craving simple things: a crisp vegetable, a piece of fresh fruit, or just something that does not come from a sealed container. But food is not the only unexpected thing astronauts notice, because when they return from a spacewalk, something strange follows them inside.